Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. There are some singers that are just larger than life. And if we think about opera singers who are larger than life, we think about the great Italian tenor Pavarotti. But there is another. There's a baritone version of this, and maybe it's his silver mane of hair, but I think it's his vocal presence and power and skill, and that of course is Dmytry Hворостовский. In this video, we're going to be analyzing and reacting to his performance of Largo al Factotum from the Barber of Seville with the Montreal Symphony. In classical music and opera, there aren't many head-to-head matchups. This isn't like sports where two rivals like Ronaldo or Messi or Ovechkin and Crosby face off against one another, but Dmytry did have a moment kind of like this in 1989. This, of course, is the Cardiff Singer of the World competition in which Dmytry faced off against the local hometown favorite Bryn Terfel and came out victorious. Largo al Factotum, Make Way for the Factotum, is an aria from the Barber of Seville by Rossini, sung at the first entrance of the title character, Figaro. The term factotum refers to a general servant and comes from Latin, where it literally means do everything.
Factotum.
Factotor.
So what an incredibly powerful and energetic opening to an aria. This is a great aria for Figaro. His entrance, his first appearance in this opera really sets you up for what this character is like. And Dmytry does this so well. I love how the orchestra is all wearing white t-shirts. I'm not entirely sure why. It seems a very 90s thing to do that. But what's really exciting is if we look at the reactions from the orchestra members when this aria starts. Let's look. I mean, look at the reactions from the violinists. It's just so much joy. There's so much happiness going around. There is a lot of la 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 going on in this aria. And if you can't sing an L properly, if you don't have the technique behind it to pull it off, then I'm sorry, but this aria is not going to work for you. Right from the get-go, we have Largo al Factotum. So Dmytry does a great job of this, of almost doubling or tripling the L length for the word largo. The term is raddoppiamento, where you lengthen the initial consonant. But we have to be careful with an L consonant because we don't want to use the full tongue. Largo. We want just the tip of the tongue. Largo. And you have to do this a lot in this aria, so it's best to do it from the get-go. There are so many interesting contrasts here. We have the che bel vivere, che bel piacere, so smooth, so legato, and then we have per un barbiere, di qualità, di qualità. And we need these qualities in this aria, especially at the very beginning, to get a sense of what the character is like. And the translation is, what a good life, what pleasures I have. So it's very legato, very smooth, and Figaro is enjoying his life. This aria is considered a patter aria, and this will become clearer as we go along in the aria, but what a patter aria is it's very quick words in a short amount of time. So you have to say a lot, and there's a lot of consonants and all those things in a short amount of time. So it's really important that we get the diction right. And one way that Dmytry does this very well is he uses the rolled R. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo. And because there's so much quick text, anytime you have a vowel that's somewhat long, you have to take advantage of it. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo, bravo. So I'm really taking advantage of those long vowels. He's taking that classic baritone stance where the arms are out, the chest is wide, and he's really making a statement here. And if we look closely at the score here, fortunatissimo per verita, first time is very legato, and then fortunatissimo per verita. Rossini is giving us that contrast once again, from legato to very staccato and detached.
Tutto l'anno del giorno sembri di torre in giro sta il tuo cambio per vadiere vita più nobile non sia la 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 la.
I'm telling you right now, you can't spend too much time on the text. In a piece like this, there's so many consonants and there's so many things that you have to do in Italian. Like you have to roll the R's, you have to double the T's, you have to double the N's or the L's. You have to do that or else the text won't make sense. If you're learning a piece of music like this that has a lot of text, I want you to go really, really slow. Pronto a far tutto la notte il giorno.
You're drinking too much!
It might seem ridiculous, but you can always speed it up over time. If you start with a fast tempo and a fast pace, it'll become a jumbled mess. What it will also do is expose any diction errors that you may have. If you go too fast from the get-go, things are going to get a little bit muddy. But if you go slow, then you can clearly pronounce every vowel and every consonant. Rossini is really great because, of course, he really understood the Italian language. So he gave us the emphasis in the melody. Pronto a far tutto la notte il giorno, sempre d'intorno, in giro sta, miglio cuccagna. The chromatic run that Dmitri just sang is incredibly difficult, so I want to listen to it one more time. So while we learn the text at a slow tempo, we also learn this kind of singing at a very slow tempo as well. If you don't get those chromatics, we lose the effect. La 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 la. It's really, really hard. So do it slowly and play it on the piano to get your notes, and then over time, speed it up. I bet that's what he did to learn this.
Raso di pecchi le lanci di forbici il mio comando tutto questa raso di pecchi le lanci di forbici il mio comando tutto questa bella risorsa poi del mestiere con la donna con il cavaliere.
I find this section is very speech-like. It's like recitative. So in opera, we have this thing called recitative, where it's the dialogue of our operas. So it's like the conversations between characters. And typically there's a chord played, and then you say a few lines in Italian or whatever, and then another chord is played. And that's kind of what this is like. Vela risorsa, bum 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 bum, poi del mestiere, con la donnetta. Then we get back into the singing. In this section, he's kind of listing off the different things that he has as a barber. He's saying razors and combs, scissors at my command, everything is here. He's just sort of listing them off, and the music reflects that. Raso ripettini, lanciate forbici al mio comando, tutto qui sta. But then we hear a dramatic shift in con la donnetta when he starts to talk about the ladies.
Poi del mestiere con la donnetta con il cavaliere. Con la donnetta, la 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 la, e con il cavaliere, tra la 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 la
Okay, I'm just going to stop him before he gets to this really dramatic cadenza. There's a clear shift between Figaro listing off these things he has as a barber versus when he's talking about when the young ladies and the young cavaliers come in. And we even have, and maybe he added this himself, a very Spanish sounding little ornament that happens. Let's listen to that one more time. So that's that Spanish sounding ornament. And he even covers his sound a little bit just to give us something interesting, something different. It reminds me of Carmen when she has her castanets. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. So not only are we showing an incredible high level of singing, but he's having a lot of fun too. And you can see he shared a moment with the conductor. And it's worth mentioning he just sang a high A there. So in this section, we're getting a lot of really interesting colors, and he's doing all these fun vocal effects to achieve what the text is saying. So he's saying, everybody asks for me. Everybody wants me. Men, women, old people, young people, everybody here. So we hear vecchi fanciulle. We hear that old person sort of timbre that he's putting in his voice.
Figaro, 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 Figaro. Oi me, che furia, oi me, che folla. Una volta per carità, per carità, per carità.
We get that in the Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. So what's happening here is all these people are calling his name. Everybody wants him. Everybody wants to be with him. Everybody wants to be near him, wants to interact with him, wants his help. So he's being pulled in like 50 different directions. And we hear that in the timbre changes. Figaro, 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 Figaro. Those are all the different people calling his name. And then he sings Oime, alas, or oh my, or whatever you want to translate it to. And we go from C major to the flat 6. We go to A flat major. And that is a really cool timbre change and modulation here. I think it settles the tone a little bit more. It's a bit warmer than C major, and that allows him to express sort of the, exhaustion that he feels from all these people calling for his attention, maybe expressing a little bit of fury in that moment as well. He does that section so unbelievably well, and I know it was really short and it didn't seem so special, but as someone who's sung this aria, that is the hardest part. Uno alla volta, uno alla volta. It's so hard after coming off of this really intense Figaro and oime, oime moment where you have to sing these high Fs, and the tessitura is just so high. You have to really think like your soft palate is going out the back of your head. Uno alla volta, uno alla volta. Think almost hooty in a way. But he was a master, so we sort of just have to sit back in awe.
Figaro, son qua, e Figaro, son qua, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù, Figaro su, Figaro giù, rode moltissimo sul uniforme, sulle ventane, la recità, la recità, la recità, la recità, la recità.
Not only is there so much text here, but we have to go up these really high intervals. Pronto, prontissimo is a perfect fifth. We've got lots of perfect fourths. And as I've said before, if we don't tune the perfect fourths and the perfect fifths, we might as well go home. So if you're singing this, I want you to use the short pattery notes to springboard you into the top notes. So we have Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù. Feel like it's a springboard and it's all coming up like that. Now here comes the true patter part of this aria. And if you want to do this well, you will spend weeks and weeks and weeks speaking the text over and over and over again. Let's see how well he does.
bravo Figaro, bravo, bravissimo, fortunatissimo, 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 per verità. La 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 la. O de Vertuno, non mancherà. Sono il Factotum della città, sono il Factotum della città, della città, della città, della città.
Well, he held that note for about 10 seconds longer than I would have been able to. So there's still beats in there. He's accenting certain words and not accenting others to give us that shape and give us that structure. The finale of this aria might be the most difficult because you haven't just been singing light, easy music for the last 4 minutes and 22 seconds. You've been singing high in your range, a lot of text, a lot of power, and now you have to finish off this aria with perhaps the highest and most powerful part. One thing you can do to sing an aria like this and not run out of gas by the end is to not let your breathing get too high. It's really easy when we're singing, sono il factotum della città, sono, everything just keeps creeping up and up. The more you can relax your body, specifically your shoulders and your neck, the better off you're going to be, and you're going to stay grounded. If we go too high, then we're just stuck up there and everything tightens up. Even if we look at his posture right now, he's not getting too high. He's keeping the shoulders down. He's using his support from below. He's using all of that air. And because of that, he's able to get to the end of this aria. So the vowel is chi, e, and he's singing ah, pretty much. He's singing della città. This is vowel modification at its finest because we can't sing a high G or a high A if we're going della città, because everything in here is going to tighten and it's just not going to work. But by opening up the vowel to ah, we make it much more approachable, much easier to sing. And I don't think that the text gets obscured, especially when you're singing that high in your range. We understand that you're singing della città, so sing it in a way that's easier for you. We're going to understand the text. And the icing on the cake, he even gave us a really great double T on città. So if you're learning or singing an aria like Largo al Factotum, or maybe you're learning Largo al Factotum, watch this video over and over and over again. This is a masterclass on how to manage your breath, how to support, how to sing with power and clarity without getting too physical in your body. I mean, Dmitri was a master. There's no other way to put it. That's it for today's video, my friends. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, please leave them in the comments section below. If you want to support me as a creator, get extended versions of videos, see behind the scenes footage, and get to know me a little bit more, then you should consider subscribing to my Patreon. I'll put the link to subscribe in the description. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.
Figaro, 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 oimè, che furia, oimè, che folla,